Have you ever had that feeling, where you're so close to being fluent in English, but something just isn't clicking? You've got the vocabulary, you've got the grammar down, but speaking still feels like a struggle. Well, what if I told you the hidden key isn't in another textbook, but in something you do all day, every single day? Let's dive into that right now. It is one of the most frustrating things, right? You open your mouth to speak and the words come out all disconnected, one by one. Then you turn on a movie or listen to a native speaker and it's this absolute waterfall of sound. It feels impossible to follow, even though you know the words are in there somewhere. Well, the answer, and this might actually blow your mind a little, isn't about what you know in your head. It's all about how you physically produce the sound. The real root of the problem could be in the very air you're using to speak. Okay, so check this out. This slide shows a really interesting mechanical difference. Many Korean speakers tend to talk on an exhaling breath. They're kind of pushing the air out as they form the words. But a lot of American English speakers, they build their speech on an inhaling breath. They take air in, pause for just a split second, and then they speak. Now, to be super clear, neither one of these is right or wrong. They're just different. But that difference has a huge impact on the flow of the language. This is such a perfect way to think about it. That little breathing difference creates what you could call a frequency mismatch. You're trying to tune into the conversation, but you're operating on a totally different wavelength. You can hear the words, you can say the words, but there's all this static getting in the way of a clear, fluid signal. So, let's get this straight. Your knowledge is not the problem. Not at all. Think of it this way. Your vocabulary is the radio station, but your breathing, that's the receiver. And if that receiver isn't tuned to the right frequency, you're just not going to get that crystal clear fluency you're after. The great news? You can absolutely retune your receiver. So, how do we do it? How do we fix this frequency mismatch? It's with something called the inhaling breathing method. And I know it sounds a little technical, but it is so simple. And it is a total game changer. Okay, so here's how it works. It's basically 3 simple steps. First, just take a nice deep breath in. Really fill up your lungs. Step 2, and this is the secret sauce right here. Just pause. Hold that breath for a tiny second. This is what gets your engine ready. And finally, step 3, speak. Just let your words float out on a slow, steady stream of air. And that's it. I know, it sounds almost too simple to possibly work, doesn't it? But you have to trust me on this. The effect this has on both your speaking and your listening is, well, it's pretty incredible. So, what actually happens when you start doing this? Well, the changes are pretty much immediate, and they affect both how you talk and how you hear other people talk. Let's just look at this example right here. The old choppy way might sound something like this. Do you know a good recipe? See how each word is its own little island? But with the inhaling breathing method, you breathe in, pause, and then it all just flows out. Do you know a good recipe for whole wheat bread? See that? It just glides. The words link together into one fluid idea because you're not fighting against your own breath anymore. And this is where it gets really cool. This little technique doesn't just change how you speak English. It completely revolutionizes how you hear it. It's time to unlock your listening. I want you to try a little mental trick with me. The next time you're listening to a native English speaker, imagine they're not just firing off individual words at you. Instead, picture them blowing soap bubbles. Some big, some small. Each one of those bubbles is a natural phrase, a whole chunk of meaning, created on a single breath. So the old way of listening is just stressful. You're desperately trying to catch every single tiny word, which is like trying to listen through static. But the new way? You start listening for the bubbles. You focus on the rhythm and flow of the speaker's breath, and your brain just naturally starts to pick up on these meaningful chunks of language. You're finally hearing the music, not just trying to catch all the individual notes. So as you can see, this isn't just another little tip or trick. This is about giving your entire English system a fundamental upgrade. Seriously, when you adopt this breathing method, you are literally retuning how you speak and listen so that you're aligned with the natural rhythm of English itself. You're going from just knowing the words to actually feeling the music of the language. All right, so let's lock this in. 3 key takeaways. Number 1, the secret to fluency might be in your body, not just your brain. 2, the inhaling breathing method is your key to creating that smooth, fluid flow when you speak. And 3, start listening for the speaker's breath to hear those meaning bubbles, not just a jumble of words. If this was helpful for you and you're ready to unlock even more of your potential, do me a favor and like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss out on our next explainer. And I'll leave you with this final thought. It's kind of wild, right? That changing something as basic and automatic as your breath can completely revolutionize how you communicate. It really makes you wonder, if changing your breath can do that for your English, what other simple, fundamental shift could be hiding in plain sight, ready to transform another part of your life? Something to think about.